Rooted and rising family, welcome back. Take a breath. Settle your spirit. Open your heart. Tonight's reading is part 3 of the ongoing tale of the Alpha King and the Mermaid Queen. A story woven once again through the tarot, told in a world older than our own, where sun and moon walk as living forces and destiny breathes between every moment. As always, take what resonates and leave what does not. For some, this will speak as myth, as story, as nourishment for the soul. For others, pieces of this will echo truth, reflections of a journey unfolding in real time. And remember, when I mention masculine or feminine, I am speaking of energies, not gender. Now, let us return to the kingdom where land and sea have begun to merge, where the Emperor and Empress walk the shifting edges of fate, and where part 3 of their story begins. A new world awaits. A great shift had taken place in their realm. The world around the Alpha King and Mermaid Queen seemed to pulse with renewed life, as if the land, the sea, and the sky were rearranging themselves in anticipation of what they would become. New doors opened, old paths faded, revelations rose like dawn from the horizon. Their story was no longer about finding each other. It was about stepping into the world they were meant to create together. The Hermit's Light. The king felt called inward, not away from the queen, but deeper into his own spirit. He walked through ancient halls, lit only by torchlight, listening for the whisper of his purpose. He faced shadows, acknowledged his wounds, and found wisdom hidden beneath old fears. The queen, sensing his journey, did not pull him back. She let him go inward, trusting that solitude was shaping him, sharpening him, strengthening him, and preparing him. This part of the path required silence, but not separation. Love's recognition renewed. When they met again, it was as though they were seeing each other for the first time. He had returned with deeper eyes. She had risen with brighter intuition. Their souls recognized one another all over again, not only as lovers, but as destiny-bound partners walking a sacred path. Love, once fragile and searching, was now deliberate, sovereign, chosen. The queen's heart expands. The Mermaid Queen felt her heart overflowing, not with uncertainty, but with compassion, intuition, and emotional clarity. Her depth softened the king's heart, his spirit. Her understanding gave him courage. Her presence reminded him that love was not a battlefield, but a sanctuary. She held space for him, and in doing so, became the calm he had sought his entire life. messages from Spirit. Suddenly, signs flooded their world. Winds shifted. Dreams intensified. Symbols appeared in unexpected places. Both of them received revelations, quickly, directly, unmistakably. Spirit was no longer whispering. Spirit was speaking in thunder. Momentum returned. The story quickened. Everything that once moved slowly now surged forward. Joy returning to the heart. The Alpha King found himself overflowing with gratitude for her presence, for their bond, for the healing that had unfolded. He felt full in a way he hadn't felt in years, fulfilled, hopeful, steady. Joy returned to him like an old friend. And when his heart felt full, he reached for her naturally, not out of fear, but out of abundance. The death of the old. But before the next chapter could unfold, an old cycle had to die. It wasn't a tragic death, but a necessary one. A shedding of past identities, a release of outdated patterns, a transformation of fears that once held them apart. Both of them stepped through this symbolic ending, and as they did, something incredible happened. They rose, stronger, clearer, truer. The strength of their bond. Their connection deepened into something unshakable. It wasn't fragile anymore. It wasn't uncertain. It had become a force, rooted, powerful, tender, and fierce, all at once. The Mermaid Queen's heart gave the King's courage. The King's presence gave the Queen security. Their energies balanced each other perfectly. Strength and softness. Softness and strength. The dance of decision. A moment arrived where they had to navigate two worlds at once. Responsibilities pulling at them. Emotions shifting and blending. Choices rising and falling like tides. This balancing act wasn't a conflict. It was preparation. They were learning how to merge their lives, how to honor both realms, land and sea, without losing themselves or each other. Their harmony was being crafted with intention. The turn of the wheel. Destiny moved again. The air changed. Time bent. Spirit aligned the next phase of their union. A wheel long set in motion finally clicked into place. Cycles closed. New blessings activated. The Alpha King and Mermaid Queen were no longer simply reuniting. They were ascending into purpose, into partnership, into their divine roles as Emperor and Empress, two who were meant to shape the future together. Their love was not just a story. It was a turning point in their destiny. As always, rooted in rising family. Stay rooted, stay rising, and aligned with all the divine gifts ahead.